many meals do you think that you can get out of one whole chicken? That this chicken was $2.99 a pound. When you start buying the parts, I looked at organic chicken breasts, and it was like $6.99. The thighs, the boneless thighs, were $5.99. And so it's so much more economical, and you get the beauty of having the broth and the stock after. So first of all, I'm gonna put it in my handy dandy Instant Pot. I used to use this mesh strainer to put things in, but I found that often, especially if I had herbs and things, they would stick. But I absolutely love this one. It's got the perforated holes, and once I put the chicken in there, I can lift the basket and all the wonderful, delicious stock just goes into a bowl. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then I will put, I've got 2 quarts of filtered water here. So I've gone ahead and I've put my chicken in. I put my rosemary on top, and I still had room, and so I added a little bit more filtered water because I want as much chicken stock as possible. So at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to put the lid on and make sure that, of course, it's on seal. And then I'm going to put it at pressure and 40-ish minutes. And again, depends on the size of the bird. Now, this one wasn't a really big one, but there's just the 2 of us. That's a good sound. And the nice thing is, I can just put this here and literally forget about it. So it's gonna take time to build up pressure, and then it's gonna do its thing. And trust me, the meat is literally gonna be fall off the bone tender. And that's what I like. Now, a lot of recipes will show putting potatoes and other things for a meal, and that's fine. But for me, I like this because I don't want all that extra. And again, I want the stock to be nice and rich and more of the chicken flavor. And then I'll use it to make soup and enchiladas and other things. So this is a really simple way. And then as I shred the meat and I freeze it, I can use it pretty much in anything. All right, so this has been going, I would say probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I didn't even worry about it. I just let it go through the whole process, do the slow release. And so we're gonna go ahead, put the lid on, and it smells wonderful. That rosemary, it's come off the little stem, and it is tender, tender. I can't even pick it up because it just falls off the bone. It makes it so easy. And literally what I'll do, and this is the other reason I love this little guy. As you can see, just all the juice comes out, and then it'll collect in here. And I will let it cool down, and it will be perfect. The stock comes to about right there, so that is plenty. And again, it'll be perfect for all the recipes. I'll put some in jars, I'll put some and make like ice cubes. So I will show you that in just a few minutes. And it really does not take long at all for this to cool. So I've gone ahead and, like I said, drained. And then basically at this point, I'm just pulling the meat off. And so let me just show you, it's cooled off. This is, it's hard to even grab. This is the, oh my, it is still hot. This is the breast, and it is soft. Actually, it's part of the thigh and the breast and the meat. Like I said, it's really hot, but it just comes across. It's easy to shred. So this will be perfect for like chicken enchiladas. It'll be perfect in soup. It's really quite, okay, so here's a full whole breast, and it is hot. And so here's the other piece. So I'm just taking these. You can just peel, ouch, the bone really easily. And it is just so easy and delicious. Here's another piece of the other breast. So it's perfect. Like I said, so many things. A chicken pot pie would be wonderful with a nice homemade crust. It's just endless, the possibilities. Of course, I'll have soup. And let me show you, I really like using these cubes. I have busted more glass jars than I care to think about, because even though it's completely cooled, I put too much and it busts. And even when I've been extra cautious and made sure I didn't put too much, I still had some crack. So these are silicone, and this one is about approximately 1/4 inch. And so I really like this one. But this is my new favorite, and I did a video a while back. These are called super cubes, and I love it because this has a lid as well, so you don't get that freezer burn. The other thing that's really nice is there's markings to show how much. So for example, it has a 1/2 cup and it has 1 cup. So these are perfect, and I'll probably do a combination because sometimes you just want a little bit of broth. Other times you want a bunch. You're making soup, you're making something that needs a sauce. So, and by the way, it may sound funny, but I have no problems with crossing over. So for example, sometimes I'm making spaghetti and I'm using ground turkey or ground beef, but instead of just getting water to thicken the sauce, or to thin the sauce for that matter, I'll grab a cube of chicken and use that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, and then the other thing is, when it comes to the meat, I've already got this one labeled, and I did a video on these a while back, and these are zip tops, and I love these. And one of the things I talked about, how they're very sturdy, there's no plastic, and there's a little place, you can fill it, you can press the air out. But one of the things I didn't mention that I'm absolutely loving it even more is there's no separate lid. I have a drawer full of glass, serving things and glass freezer containers, but you always have to find the lid and you're digging through the drawer. This is all in one. First of all, they stand up nicely. They're very, very heavy. And then when you put the meat in, you just press it against yourself and then go across the top, and then it's closed, airtight, and so everything stays fresh. But again, I love the fact that there's no separate lid that I have to be digging for and finding. They take less room, and particularly when I am freezing meat, I really like these. The other thing is, if I put it in there loosely, what I've done is taken one out of the freezer and been able to break apart some of the meat and take it out and then seal it right back and put the rest back in. So it's really nice. Whereas glass, it takes a long time to thaw that. So I love these. So I'm gonna go ahead and start separating some of these things out. And I just wanted you to see, this is some of the broth, the last of the broth. I've got a whole quart. I'm just gonna keep that in the refrigerator. It'd be perfect for soup. I've got my freezer containers. I've got this whole 9-inch pan full of chicken. I just wanted you to see just how much. And then I'm gonna be divvying it up into different containers. I plan to make chicken enchiladas. That'll easily be a 2-meal dish, but for 2 people. But for you, it might be 1. But again, that's at least 1 meal. So the chicken enchiladas, chicken soup, that's gonna be a couple of days. Chicken pot pie will easily be 1, maybe 2 days. And chicken casserole with just vegetables and pasta. So again, this is an easy way, so simple, so much easier to get off the bone than when normally I would roast it. So give it a try. $3 a pound. This chicken was probably about 5 pounds. So, I mean, you can't beat that. And again, delicious, it was organic, and I'm excited because once I start making these things, I'll put half in the freezer, have meals on the table in less than an hour. So you can't beat that. For more healthy tips, continue to follow me and subscribe. Coach Maggie for Health, God bless, and take care.